Morning, Deputy.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you today?
Great. We're going to take this as soon as I get the file. I should have it in about 30 seconds, and then we'll call
Yes,
it.
sir. We're good. You just tell us what you need.
Thank you.
As a housekeeping measure, so my guy says he posted the money, but it takes 7
Well, let's look at this. John, I'll call the case. John Darius Walker, 22F 9067 A and B. Mr. Walker, your name?
John Walker.
Counsel?
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, House Counsel Attorney Michael D65417 on behalf of Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker had originally requested a bench trial and was going to waive his jury trial as to the DV. I have had an opportunity to speak with the prosecution one more time. Mr. Walker is not aware of it, but the domestic violence will be dismissed. Mr. Walker had already admitted that he would plead guilty to MDOP, and the condition for the dismissal on that would be restitution for the damage to the door. So Mr. Walker is getting what he requested.
Do you understand, and did you hear what your lawyer just said, Mr. Walker?
No, I didn't hear him.
The prosecutor is offering you the opportunity to plead guilty to the charge of malicious destruction of property, and that is with the understanding that the domestic violence charge would be dismissed.
Okay.
Do you wish to take advantage of that, or do you wish to go to trial?
I'll take advantage of it.
All right, so if you plead to malicious destruction of property, I will dismiss the domestic violence. The possible penalties on this are up to $500 in fines, 90 days jail, costs are all of those. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You're presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to a trial. The right to a trial by court or a trial by jury. At that trial, you have the right to question their witnesses, to bring in your own witnesses, to use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses, and the testifier remains silent. If you plead guilty to that added count, you'll be giving up all those rights, including your constitutional right to a jury trial. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You still wish to plead guilty to malicious destruction of property with the understanding the domestic will be dismissed.
Yes.
The charge malicious destruction of property, how do you wish to plead?
I don't understand what you're saying.
What do you mean you don't understand? I'm asking you, how do you plead to the charge of the malicious destruction of property?
I did it.
Well, I'm asking you how you plead. Do you plead not guilty or guilty?
Or guilty.
So I'm going to ask you again, to the charge malicious destruction of property, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
On June 14 at 22, were you in the city of Flat Rock, County of Wayne, State of Michigan at 3 Gibraltar Road in Flat Rock?
Yes.
And did you in fact intentionally slam a car door, which in turn on multiple occasions, which caused damage to multiple different panels and the door not being able to be closed?
Yes.
All right. And there was resultant damage to the vehicle then. Is that true?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Anybody in the world forced you to plead guilty?
No.
Plea is accepted. The domestic's dismissed. I'm going to refer you for, was there any indication in the police report that there was alcohol or drugs involved?
No indication that I read.
PSI, I'm going to order pre-sentence report. We don't have any indication that he's posted the bond, Deputy. Can you confirm that, or?
We don't see on the GIS system or anything, but the defendant says he has a receipt, but the county does not have possession of such receipt.
I have the receipt that Flat Rock had gave me when they paid my bond.
You were only in here yesterday. Are you telling me you posted your bond yesterday?
No,
Slow down.
No, I just got
Whoa. Let me talk.
All right.
Are you telling me that you posted your bond since you were in front of me yesterday?
Yes.
Who did you pay the bond to?
Flat Rock Police Department, where I was in jail at.
How much did you pay?
$300, $320 to be exact. I paid $300 for the bond and $20 for the booking fee.
$24.96, right? Give me 1 second.
There's one caveat. There's a 7-day delay in the tether.
I know. I'm not releasing that tether right now.
I told him you would, but he needs to get back.
I gotta work.
Hang on.
Okay, sorry.
This is Judge McNally. I have John, I'm on video with the county jail. John Darius Walker was in there on a domestic yesterday. He says he posted $300. He actually says he gave $320, which I think is some $20 fee. Did he, can you guys confirm if he posts that?
Yes, they posted.
Okay, thank you very much.
Victim posted it.
The victim posted it?
Yeah, Jada posted it.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is the victim out there by chance? Correct me. This is the one where he's also got a pending domestic warrant out of Monroe. Am I confusing this with another case?
It did say that he was being confined for a separate unrelated DV.
So this is great. That only happened 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. At least the date of the warrant was March 28 of 22.
Well, Your Honor, I'm just going to say this may be callous, but there are two sides to the story, and he's given me his side, and oftentimes there's another side of the story. The abuse of the criminal justice system. I'm going to be careful, but presumably that charge is going to be resolved the same way this one was resolved.
Why did he show up on that?
I did get into detail on his others.
Why didn't you show up on that domestic out of Monroe, Mr. Walker?
I never had any contact with police. I didn't even know I had a warrant at all. It's the same person. It's the same. My child's mother. It's the same person. She just called out of anger. Like, she's not gonna come to court, press charges, any of that. So it's like she's doing all this for nothing. Like, she just bonded me out yesterday.
All right, I heard. Just slow down. Let's call Mr. Cayley in here. You got to control your anger, Mr. Walker.
No, I didn't touch her. That's why, like, I pleaded to because I'm on camera.
Mr. Walker, you got to control your anger.
All right. I know.
Well, then you could have just said, I know. Mr. Cayley, your name? So I don't know what's going on, except I'll fill you in on Mr. Walker. He has a domestic violence warrant and some other warrant I didn't see. I don't know what it's for out of Monroe. That incident, that warrant was entered in the lien in late March. He picks up this domestic and this MDOP. He's in front of me yesterday. A person appears on Zoom. We think she's just here to watch because Mr. Walker had a companion, a different case, I should say, out of Rockwood. So we told her to go on YouTube and watch. We ended up adjourning the Rockwood case. It was a drywall license invalid and something else. It was not serious. I set a 3,010% bond. Concerns over the fact that they do live in Monroe. I don't know who the victim is. I'm not going to ask him a bunch of questions about it. But there might be a possibility that the victim in this case is the same victim in the Monroe case. I set a 3,010% bond. He just takes the offer that you proposed to Mr. Baldwin and pleads guilty to MDOP, and the domestic on this case is dismissed. They were insisting that the bond had been posted. I called the police department. The bond was posted, ironically, by the victim. The only reason he's still in jail right now then is because I ordered a tether. But I don't have the benefit of having the Jada Walker, or I believe it's Jada Walker, as the, have the benefit of having her here, but I presume, I think, although I try to never assume or presume or do anything along those lines, that maybe she's not overly scared if she went up and posted the bond. So now I'm debating, honestly, whether I still need to have this not to be released until fitted with a GPS tether, because the county takes a long time, 6 and 7 days often. And I hate to see people sit in jail for 6 or 7 days if they don't need to sit in jail for 6 or 7 days. He tells me that he did not know about the warrant in Monroe. So that's where we are. What is do you have anything you want to offer?
I think he's got a warrant out of Monroe for domestic violence. I don't think victim or not, but if it is, we're gonna have bond conditions over there with respect to his contact with the victim. And as you indicated, if she posted the bond, I know that in the police report, the injuries weren't very visible. Okay. So I'm sure she posted the bond there.
Give me a bond
She
sheet.
must have contact with the gentleman, but, you know.
All right, so
You
here's,
can't tell somebody to
I know.
stay away from somebody if they don't want to. So,
I know. All right, so deputy, I don't know what we need to do. I have confirmed, bond sheet. I have confirmed that he did in fact post the bond, this 3,000 10% bond. I don't know if you're going to coordinate with Monroe for arraignment on that case. That's up to you guys. I would assume you would, but I'm not going to get into that. On this case, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to continue the bond, which is as follows. No contact with Jada Coleman. I want to be clear about this, Mr. Walker. If I find out you're having contact with Jada Coleman, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to forfeit the bond, revoke the release, and I'm going to set a bond you will not be able to make. And you're going to be sitting in there, I promise you, for the summer. Do we understand one? Do we understand one another?
Yes.
I'm also going to include no contact with prosecution witnesses. You're not to enter Autumn Drive in Monroe. Autumn Drive in Monroe. I also say you're not to be within 2 miles, not to be within 2 miles of the victim, her residence, or place of employment. You are not to be within 2 miles of the victim, her residence, or place of employment. I'm removing the requirement of a GPS tether. Jennifer, we're going to need to send a mid over there again. And you can put right on the minimus that the bond has been posted per the Flat Rock Police Department. So your minimus is otherwise going to basically say the same thing, except it's going to indicate, or at least we're going to also indicate, so there's no confusion, previous minimus that required fitting of a GPS tether is removed. Previous minimus, Judge McNally executed or signed on June 15 of 22, that required fitting of a GPS tether is removed. So I don't know whether they're going to call Flat Rock. They should. I hope they do. You'll have a bond. But either way, you're going to come over here to the courthouse for a pre-sentence report on with regard to the malicious destruction of property no later than Tuesday, June the 21st. However, do not come here Monday because we are closed on Monday. So if you're released today, you either come here today, tomorrow, or Tuesday. We're not open Saturday and Sunday, obviously. We're also not open Monday. Do we understand one another?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Walker, I want to be clear. I'm removing the GPS tether requirement. I'm not removing the no contact element. I'm not removing the not to enter the property address on Auburn.
Okay.
Now, I have more difficulties. Usually I would have the police stand by and allow you to go in and get your personal belongings. But this is the Monroe Police Department, not the Flat Rock Police Department. And it's too hard for us to coordinate. So you're not going back there. You're going to have to figure out a way to get other clothes, shaving gear, what have you. Do not call that woman. Do not write that woman. Do not text that woman. Do not email that woman. I'm not threatening you. I'm promising you, if you do that, I am going to lock you up for a long time. I'm going to give you a sentence date in this case on this MDOP charge. I will be reasonable with you, but I expect people to comply with orders. And for whatever reason, there seems to be some kind of a little epidemic going on out there that leads people to conclude they don't have to comply with judges' orders now. I can assure you I'm not one of those judges that's going to put up with that nonsense. Do we understand one another?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good, then you and I will get along great. Give me a sentence date, Jennifer.
June 30th at 8:45.
June 30th at 8:45 will be your court date. We
Okay.
understand one another.
Do I go Zoom or courthouse?
Now, you can come in by Zoom if you want, as long as you can operate a Zoom and I don't have to wait for you and you don't have a hat on and you're not eating and you're not smoking and you're not walking around acting like this is a luxury vacation. I don't have a problem with you zooming in. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck. Wish you well. Do you have any questions for me?
No, not at all.
Good luck. Thank you, Deputy. Have a good day.
Your Honor, sir, if we can update the GIS system that states that the bond was paid, because we'll use that to concur with the minimus for release.
Okay, can we do that? Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Thank you, Your Honor. You and your staff have a blessed day.
You too. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Bye now. Can you ask Roger to have them get the bond over so we can get this guy out of there? People against Fuzi, Eugene David Fuzi, 22D800-322 A and B. How you doing? Come on up to the podium if you would, sir. State your name there. You can turn that podium toward me if you would. It's a swivel. There you go. You have possession of a squirrel out of season and hunting a squirrel without a license. You have the right to a lawyer. I'm just telling you, you have the right to a lawyer here today if you want.
Yes,
I can get you one.
1 o'clock.
Lisa, I could get you one if you want one. Do you want one? No. You're charged with those two offenses. Those are misdemeanors punishable by up to 500 fines, 90 days jail. Costs are all those. This allegedly occurred May the 9th of 22 at 10:30 in the morning at 12 Chipmunk Trail in Woodhaven. Do you understand all of that? Did you sign, read, and understand this advice of rights? If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights. There will be no trial. Do you understand that? Now, again, if you tell me you want to waive your right to a lawyer, is that you can either get one or if you want to waive your right to one, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea. No. Okay, so let me do this for you. I'm going to indicate you stand me waive formal reading. You ever had a misdemeanor conviction before? You ever had a misdemeanor conviction before? You don't want to start today. So I'm going to send you into the prosecutor. I'm going to let him talk to you. Just be patient. He's got a couple ahead of you here. I'll give you a $100 personal bond and you're going to go talk to him. Just be patient. We'll bring the file over there. And then he'll try to work with you on this. Okay. Then either way, you're coming back in front of me. Okay. Yes, sir. We're going to try to take care of this today. It's not the biggest case I'll see today. It's not the biggest case I'll see in the next 5 minutes. Okay. Well, no, not outside. I wish we could. If we could do these outside, this would be great. I was on a boat yesterday. We could do a boat. I mean, I've kidding about it for years. No, you're going to go out in the hallway. He'll take you to see the prosecutor. Okay. All right. So just be patient. Sit right outside that door and he'll bring you over there. Thank you. Will you take that file into Mr. Kazak for me?